They've been searching for that thing to get them higher. You can't catch my drift, can't catch my wave. You'll burn out if you jump into the fire. Can you feel it rushing through your veins? Though you make it out that you desire. No season was that never be the same. You burn out if you jump into the fire. Can you feel it rushing through your veins? Though you make it out that you desire. No season was that never be the same. You burn out if you jump into the fire. Can you feel it rushing through your veins? Though you make it out that you desire.
Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. On first down, Pryor steps away to his left. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Well, nearly a disaster there on the check down, but they'll get it back.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Pryor. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone.
He will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Sammy Watkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead.
It's the score, Vikings 7, Bears nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
Cohen on the return. The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Yardage back to the 29. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Now the ball comes loose, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. That's probably bringing back nightmares of last week, isn't it?
No doubt about it. Right now, I'm looking over at the coaching staff, and I'm seeing the wheels turning in their heads, and you know what is happening? They're remembering how they started the season in camp, even in the offseason where they emphasized ball security, and they're wondering why the message isn't sinking in.
5 turnovers last week now. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Maurice Hurst breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Pryor, buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all it does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They'll run for it with Cook, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Going on the return. The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week. Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Bears.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game, because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
3rd down.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now a shotgun snap as they look to throw. And this one complete right side to Funches. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
Made the quick throw there outside the numbers, and you can feel the thought process. They just wanted to get in his hands and let him make a play. But how about the job they did defensively to keep him bottled up? Instead, they tackle him for a loss.
And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. They'll be down at the 14-yard line. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. throwing on first down. Pryor. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Jalen Johnson on the coverage.
Off the play fake. Pryor. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And they will score. Pick 6 for the Bears. Touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7.
Kickoff for Chicago.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. But ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Taken down, a Bear sack.
Taken down.
They had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Nice move. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
But this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
50-yard line.
This time he'll look to throw. It's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 1st and 10, Pryor. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook, and this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. From the gun, Pryor. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Justin Jefferson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. An extra point attempt here still to come. It's good, and it is now 21-7.
The score, Vikings 21, Bears 7.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this carries into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now this throw caught left side. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And the Bears first down.
They go play action here on 1st down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. gets to him again. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun. Pryor. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Incomplete. Sets up.
The Vikings send out their punter. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
On the return, the Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
They'll start the 3rd quarter here on the ground. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On play action, they'll throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Gun now on 3rd down. Trying to lay one up deep. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mark Hughes. The first half did not go their way, and that's not like that help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
30-yard line.
Off play action. Pryor looking here for Smith downfield. He rifles one. It's intercepted. Dropped by Jalen Johnson. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
He's going to go deep for Funchess. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
He'll look to throw. And he's got it. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
His kick is good.
And this one through the uprights and good.
Vikings 21, Bears 14.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Back to the air on 2nd down. That'll be complete to Cook. Now Cook hit and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they're going to Set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Covered by Chicago.
So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky, because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Smith catches left side. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Cook following the penalty. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. They run it again with Cook. And he'll take this one down near the 15. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 3rd down, Pryor. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Now the extra point try forthcoming. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14.
14.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will make it into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence.
This will be caught at the 30. What's up? Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
at their own 18-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL. But if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Throwing again. Pryor. And he delivers a strike complete to Watkins. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. He may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
No gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Pryor. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Pryor. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Tackle made by Devondre Campbell. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down.
Bears.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Flushed out right. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Cole Kmet, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone, so give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. They're only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. They start the drive with Cook. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
On the carry.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one. It might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Again, it's Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
Oh, partner, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up with big trouble, as we just saw right there.
Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. And the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. His 2nd sack of the afternoon. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
31 yards on the punt there. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. On the crossing route, complete. It's Watkins. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. On 1st down, Pryor. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Frank Clark, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Operating from the gun. Pryor. And he can't get a throwaway. He's taken down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. To throw from his end zone. Pryor. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So they got some pressure, maybe hoping to get a safety, and they get roughing the passer.
And gave up a pass completion as well. Nothing really went right on that play for them.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, Pryor. Incomplete. It's Smith. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 15 yards on the play. 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Operating from the gun. Pryor. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. To throw again, Pryor. This is going to be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Vikings, oh, no, he lost the football. He's got daylight. 30, 10, 5, and in for the score. Are you kidding me? They return it, and they take the lead. So many times, tight games decided by one big play. And a lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
Bears 28.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big connection on that one. 31 yards.
Today's final score, Vikings.
Going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Minnesota, it'll be a much happier locker room here as they get that first win after 5 straight losses to start the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
stuck in my ways. They say I'm the chosen one to see it in my face. Get this one and I'm holding on, I can't be replaced. I just take a sip, but it's spit. We on track for the win. Celebrate the win again. Celebrate the win again. Take a sip, but it's spit. We on track for the win. Celebrate the win again. Celebrate the win again. And the sun can't touch me, got a brand new visor, yeah. You friend smart, but my bud's wiser, yeah. Get the job done like the equalizer. Now I'm grab another drink, cause tonight I'ma die like Michael Phelps. Hey, diving in this pool. I don't know what would help. Hey, I'm just telling you the truth. I heard the flare gun, I'm ready to race. No, I don't fear nothing, I'm stuck in my ways. They say I'm the chosen one, see it in my face. Get this one and I'm holding on, I can't be replaced. I just take a sip, but it's spit. We on track for the win. Celebrate the win again. Celebrate the win again. Take a sip, but it's spit. We on track for the win. Celebrate the win again. Celebrate the win again. It's triumphant. Let's bump it. Don't mind me seizing the moment. Energy up my body burning. And my stomach keep on turning. Stop moving, I can't control it. On my last breath and I can't hold it. You gotta give it all I got. This for the ones that think